Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My neighbors decided to be crackheads today, even though it's the middle of the day on a Wednesday. I guess they took the day off, I'm not sure what's going on, and they also have a toddler that likes to jump around and run around, so if that happens at all during this video, then I'm sorry, but today's video, I'm going to be doing a first impressions, not necessarily a review, but just like a first impressions of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills collaboration palette with Jackie Aina, a YouTuber. I didn't want to do like a full-blown review of this because I feel like I want to just do more of like a first impressions and let you guys know how it performs the first time. So if you are interested in something like that and just playing with makeup today, then please keep on watching. So first of all, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and hit the notification bell. And yeah, let's just get right on into it. So this palette right here is, yes, the Anastasia Beverly Hills collaboration with Jackie Aina. This launched, I believe it was August 6th. And what day is it today? 21st, something like that, and the day that this is going up is the 22nd, I believe. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a while. I'm a little late. When am I not? Not on that PR list yet. The way that I do my reviews now is just like so much more in-depth, and I really take my time with some of the products that I use. So I don't want to call this a review, but I did just want to do a first impressions of it because I feel like that's fun. I don't know anything about how this product performs yet, and I feel like it's a little bit discouraging to just go in blind and critique it without that mindset going on. I've done that in the past and I don't really like to do that anymore unless it's for my alcohol reviews. Because I think once you taste it, you know. So it retails for $45. A usual typical Anastasia palette goes for, I think, $42. But when they do brand collaborations, whether it's Alyssa Edwards or whatever type of creator, it's a little bit more. And there's been a little bit of controversy about this palette just because, oh my god, a black woman made a palette, we gotta nitpick at it. And so a lot of people have been coming out the woodwork to just critique it, say that the colors look too purple, too green, not wearable enough. Even some white creators are being stupid and saying these colors are too dark for me and they're not going to work on my skin tone. It's like, okay, then grab literally any other Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Like, I just can't understand what the mentality is there. So I'm really not going to address it too much because I just really want to play with this palette. I don't want to get into the fiasco associated with it because in my opinion, there's really nothing wrong with this palette on site. The colors have a great story together. They all go together and you can use them in various different ways. And it also very much screams Jackie Aina. Like, she does a ton of purple looks, she does a ton of green and purple looks. She plays a color a lot, but she also likes to do neutral tones. So I feel like collabing with ABH was a really smart move on her part to really get a good balance of her personality. We gotta get the full extent of this palette. Here's what it looks like inside. I just feel like it looks so rich and just, I don't know, just really gorgeous. I guess the layout can be a little bit confusing to some people. Why are people always so annoying about these kinds of things? Especially when it comes to ABH, like they commit to the quality of the product. And especially when it's Jackie Aina, you think that she's gonna create a rainbow palette. Like, she plays a color, sure, but she's not that type of girl. So like, why? And I don't know, it came out around her birthday and she also got engaged. So I don't understand why people just gotta tear someone down like that, no matter what race they are. A little frustrating, but I digress. Let's get into this. So I clean my makeup brushes, or at least the ones that I use like on a daily basis. So I'm really excited because when I was doing my face makeup, like everything went on like a new Christmas present. It was so nice. So I'm excited to see if this helps like the blending process, you know? So I guess it dried like that, so we're just gonna ignore it. This is my Morphe 330. I feel like I've been doing a lot of pinks, a lot of purples lately, so I think I want to go more of the neutral route. I'm gonna go in with the shade Ginger. Interesting. I don't know if this is so pigmented that I'm like losing it, or if, you know, this color is like really too dark to be a transition for my complexion, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that, but that is incredibly pigmented and I'm only having like a little bit of trouble blending it out, but we're just gonna keep on going. I am using this over top a wet base, so every color is gonna be difficult to blend out. This color looks so light in the pan that it's kind of like shocking me a little bit, like how deep it is on the actual eye itself. And my base is also, like, besides just being a wet base, it's also very light. Like, it's a lighter tone than my natural complexion, so I get how it's like so crazy. But I'm just gonna take this fluffy brush and go in with ginger again to kind of like distribute the color a little bit more upwards, so that we have like a nice transition. I feel like this brush helps to really fluff everything out a little bit better. So while I'm doing this, can I rant for a second? I know I wasn't gonna talk about drama, but like here I am. So it's really interesting that a lot of people will get these collaboration palettes or just launches in general, but like won't watch the video that the influencer puts out on the actual product. It just really frustrates me because like unless you watch a video like that, getting all the in-depth information, like how are you going to make accurate judgments on everything? Like in those videos, they show you swatches, tell you how to pronounce like each shade. They tell you the story in the background behind each color sometimes. Or they tell you the creation process of like how it was done. So it just really bugs me when people want to do like reviews or even first impressions of these things like I am, and they don't get their sources in order. Like people just like mispronouncing things like doulas and lituation and wigglies and shookington, and you know, not really getting the references or not really understanding the pronunciations of stuff like that really irks me, because it's like as an influencer, it's your job to be informed so that you could give accurate and correct information to your audience. So yeah, just a little mini rant because it just frustrates me. It makes it so that I just don't trust the people that are reviewing the product, because it says to me that you tried to rush this so much that you weren't actually thinking about it. So I think we got a pretty good blend. It did take me a minute to do that, which I'm not mad about. I think it's just such an intense pigment that you really have to focus on like buffing it out for a while, but it still looks pretty dark. So we're just gonna move on with that. And I think the only natural color to do after that is edges. So I'll also say that ginger was really fluffed out when I put my brush in there, like lots of kickback in the pan, but that's just something that honestly I've come to accept with Anastasia palettes these days. I'm not going to judge it off of that, especially if Aina herself has said that it's not something that she's concerned with. Kickback and also fallout underneath. So this is my Morphe M411, just going right into the crease. I feel like that color didn't really add too much depth to the look, but it did warm everything up a little bit. I wonder how different the look would have been if I did edges first and then went in with ginger. So fallout check, there has been none. So I'm pleasantly surprised about that, because like I was so out of my element doing my face and everything before my eyes. So forgive me if things look weird to you guys, but I'm happy that there's no fallout, because that was what I was concerned about. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with Credit. Is that deep brown in my Morphe M513 and just put that on the outer V. I'm a little nervous about this because this is really dark. Can't tell you guys how nice it feels to start using browns again. I feel like I've just been doing so many colorful things, and I do like color most of the time, but I just feel like I can't do anything after I do a colorful look. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't go to the grocery store. I can't be bopping around. So it feels nice to be doing some brown. So I'm sorry if this is like boring to some of you, but I know that most of you will probably appreciate that I'm doing something a little bit more wearable for once. That was Credit, and as you can see, it built everything up a lot. I'm really liking the way that it's blending. I think that that's it for building up the crease. So now I'm just gonna go in with some of the shimmers. So I think I wanna do like a coppery green kind of vibe. So of course I'm gonna go in with Wigglies, and I'm gonna start that on like the outer third of the eye. And I think I'm just gonna use my finger. This feels so unsanitary, but this feels so smooth, and that's how it looks like on my finger. I'm loving the pigment, but I'm also loving that it seems really easy to move around. Like it's not really chunky, and even with just my finger, it's blending into the other shadows really well just by me like tapping on it. I'm gonna like shape it up a little bit and make sure that it's all well blended, but for now, like this looks gorgeous. So I'm just gonna move on, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Sponsored, which is hilarious because she's like the queen of sponsorships. Even I was getting like frustrated at a certain point, but like listen, brands want to sponsor to you and you love them, then might as well go for it. This has a very similar consistency to Wiggly's. It's really smooth. It's not very chunky. I love like the duochrome shift in there. It's like kind of a green to copper shift, and it's blending nicely on top of Wiggly's really nicely. So I am getting a little bit of fallout with these shadows. I think it has a lot to do with the packing motion and also just me using my finger instead of a brush. But I want to make sure that you guys are aware of it, just in case you decide to do like your face before your eyes, which is like against the law, but like that's for another video. So now I am going to go in with a brush, and there's a lot of things to consider here. I'm gonna go in with Zola's, just a nice neutral golden shade. It's not like really harsh, and it looks a little bit more chunky, so I'm just gonna go in with the brush just so that I don't have as much problems with fallout and things like that. And just going to use this same brush to start blending everything together. Going in with Zola's on the inner corner with my finger. Like, I'm not going to use the finger on the lid, but on the inner corner, if you really want to get your inner corner to pop, definitely suggest the pinky finger. The final shade that I'm going to go into is Trust Issues, and it's like kind of like this glittery overlay type of shadow, like a topper almost. So I'm just going to use that on the brow bone just to get like a cool like reflect there, because I know it's probably not going to be like crazy pigmented. And more or less, this is the finished look. I know it's a little bit more muted, and obviously I haven't done the bottom lash line, did all the hoot and hollers, but this is pretty much just what I'm working with now. I know it's a little bit more muted, but I really do like kind of the tonal shifts that you get when I turn my head a little bit and you see all the different reflex going on. I think that this is a really well-balanced palette. Like, I feel like you get so many cool, interesting looks out of it, but at the same time, all of it is pretty wearable in the same token, and everything really goes together pretty well. So I don't really see any problems with this. I'm just going to continue to do the rest of my eyes, eyeliner, eyelashes, all of that, and then I'll get into my final thoughts. And this is the finished look. If you want to find out how these eyeliners went, because yes, they are two different kinds, I will be having a video sometime this week. So once again, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell if you are interested in seeing that. So I'm loving these earth tones. I'm really about it, especially for late summer, almost fall, even though we have like more than a month to go, but whatever, I'm ready, I'm about it. So yeah, I know that this is like, once again, more of like a boring, subdued look, but like sometimes we need a boring, muted, subdued look. And listen, I still feel really glamorous and I still feel really confident, and I think that that's the most important thing about eyeshadow palettes and makeup like that. Daytime appropriate, I guess you could say. So yes, even though there are a lot of neutral tones in the palette, I feel like you could also get away with doing lots of pink, vibrant looks as well. This palette just like has pretty much everything that you could want for neutral person's dream. Like, it has your pinks, it has your earth tones, it has really bold colors, but it also has like just such stunning shimmers. And like, I feel like Jackie Aina is like the queen of shimmers because she's got all that lid space, so you know, she's really working with it. But yeah, like, I just feel like this is such an excellent palette, especially since it's my first time trying it. Like, I had no problems with anything, no problems blending anything out, no problems with the pigmentation, and no problems of fallout as well. So I feel like it's like a win here. So as my first impression, I'm just going to give it a 10 out of 10. I feel like she really knocked it out of the park, and these colors are just very much in tune with my spirit. So way to go, Jackie. If you're watching this, you're not, but like, we could dream. That is it for my first impressions of the Anastasia Beverly Hills x Jackie Aina collab. If you did like this video, like the look that I did, liked anything about this, please give me a thumbs up. And all my social media will be at the end of this video, and they're also linked down below, and you'll have a full product breakdown of everything else that is on my face in the description box as well if you are curious. And yeah, have you guys tried this palette out? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.